Check, check, check. Are you hearing me over on the live stream? Okay, good, good. How are we doing, guys? Doing good? All right, so we're waiting on Ted Irving. Is he here yet? He's here? Okay, good, good. So the next guest you guys are going to have coming up is going to be really, really good. How many of you guys have iPhones? Or any type of phone that you call your smartphone? Okay, iPhone, Samsung Galaxy, whatever, right? What do you guys do with your video? You upload it? What do you do with your video? You upload it, you edit, what do you do? What else do you do with it? You give it away? What do? You share it with your friends, right? Okay, so how do you share things with your friends? Through text? Okay, so you send them a video through a text, okay? And then you also send it to YouTube, Instagram, where else? Snapchat, is that still a thing? No Snapchat? I guess I'm old, right? Okay. All right, MySpace, no MySpace? Yeah, right. You guys know what that is. But the next guest is going to help you guys shoot better photos, shoot better video with your smartphones, okay? Ted's been shooting for a very long time in the industry, and his thing is, hey, why not use what we have? Why not use these devices that we have? And so he's going to show you guys today. I think he's going to work on packages and show you guys how to create the content and upload those at the best and the highest quality. Okay, so we're waiting for him to get here. But until then, how many of you guys have a class right after this? Okay, all right, so it's 1 o'clock, what, 1:10 right now? Okay, on Wednesday, I know we change classes every hour, right? So how many of you guys have a 2 o'clock? Okay, you have a 2 o'clock? Okay, good, good. So see if you can stay a little bit past, because he may start and it might take him 45 minutes to an hour to get through it. But see if you can stay for that time. My class, raise your hand, my class. Good, there we go. All right, you're not going anywhere, so you're good. So you guys are baked in this classroom, so you're good. So any questions, guys, about what we've been doing for Comm? How many of you guys are actually school of communications majors? Okay. All right. You guys are, what's your major? Biology. And so you're in Comm 1315 or 1321 for this class? You don't know what class you're in. 1315? Okay. It's public speaking or public address. Okay, good, good. Okay. And so this is Comm Week. And so Comm Week is a week-long activity that is set up to inspire and introduce our students to the rest of the world of media, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's news, whether it's broadcast, whether it's podcasting, whether it's content creating, magazine, newspaper, whatever it is. We try to bring someone in that can connect our students to that industry or to that part of the world. We just had a very dynamic session earlier in the studio with Fox 26. Outstanding. They were here from 9 o'clock this morning until they're still here right now. And it's 1 o'clock, right? So what is that, 4 hours? Right? So they're giving 4 hours of their time. They brought their main anchors. They brought Isaiah Curry. If you guys know what the Isaiah Factor, they brought him. The news director, the general manager was here. It was a good friend of mine. So dynamic. I mean, it was very, very nice. And so students are right now connecting with them. They're talking with them. They're getting their IGs. I use that. They're getting their IGs. They're getting their Facebook. They're getting their phone numbers. So they can have someone in the industry that they can connect with. So that's what Comm Week is all about. Yesterday we had Channel 13. They brought about 10, 15 people. 26 brought about 10 or 15 people. So, I mean, you cannot buy that kind of help from the outside. So our students are feeling inspired right now. And another session we have, just so you guys know, another session we have is going to be at 5 o'clock. And it's going to be introducing you guys to the world of film cameras. So they're going to, Professor Powell's bringing in some of his industry friends, and they're going to come in. They're going to really show you guys what people are using in the industry, type technology they're using, and you're going to see a couple of big cameras that you probably haven't seen that people actually shoot major films with. So that's going to be great. So my class, once again, if you need another one, I know you're required to be this one, but the one at 5 is going to be just as dynamic. So make sure you guys are there. Also at 3 o'clock, all my journalism majors, raise your hand if you're a journalism major. Okay, I'm having a session. It's going to be in the studio at 3 o'clock. So make sure you guys come to that. And it's about also making and taking your news stories and your news packages to a different level. Okay, so that's going to be at 3 o'clock. So I want you guys to want to join School of Communications, guys, just talk to one of the professors because it's something that we enjoy. And most of the professors in that department, we all are industry professionals. And so if you guys are looking for a home, like a church home, right? If you guys are looking for a home, School of Communications is here to receive you guys. And so if you want to come in and feel inspired and do podcasting, do journalism, welcome. You guys are welcome to come in and be a part of us. So thank you. And is our main guy here yet? He's not here? Okay. So I'm going to shut up right now, unless Professor Graves wants to come up here and say something. Any questions from our majors about anything that we've done so far? And today is Wednesday, so we've had yesterday. Tomorrow is going to be an impactful day. Any questions or any insights from you guys? My class better ask a question because I'm going to give you extra points. So where's my class? Nobody? Okay, go ahead. Is there anything that we've done this week so far? I know you've probably been a part of, what, 2 or 3 different sessions? Is there anything that you could talk about, anything you want to talk about?
I would say earlier today when the Houston Defender came in, it kind of opened up my eyes as far as where I'm getting my news from, as well as where are we getting like more of black perspectives from, and just knowing that there's like media outlets and trusted sources.
Okay. How many of you guys read the newspaper? All right, nobody, right? But how many of you guys receive information about what's happening in the world on your phones? That's everybody, right? Okay. What's happening right now in the world? What's happening in the world right now? What? Trump? Oh, you call it Trump war? Well, the Iran, I don't know what to even call it. It's not really a war, whatever you want to call it, but the Iran situation, right? But that's the big news. And so we're hearing all these different things. But do we actually know what's happening with that? Do we know why it's happening? See, and that's the part you want to find out, okay? So the black press is something that has been here. Black press goes back as far as abolition, okay? You guys know what abolition, and when I say abolition, you know what that is, right? What does that mean? Abolition of slavery, right? What was the first newspaper? What was the first newspaper that was created for people of color? It was one of the first newspapers. I'll give you a hint. Google it. I'll give you a hint. Frederick Douglass. Okay, so I'm gonna put that name out there. What was it called? The Freedom's Journal. Okay, was that the first, or was that the one Frederick Douglass produced? What was the one that Frederick Douglass did? You guys know who that is, right? Okay, look it up. Hurry up. Let's go. You guys are slow. You're supposed to have your AI working right now. Tell your AI, hey, I need to know who. What's it called? North Star. Okay. Okay. Now, was that the first? Or one of the first, right? Okay. All right. But okay, and then the North Star happened right after that, right? Okay, so the North Star was created, and it was a publication for people of color to read. What was the problem with that? People couldn't read, right? Right? But educated black folks in the North actually could read pretty well, okay? And it was really meant to let them know the struggle that was happening down south. Okay, but there were a lot of black people that could read that, they couldn't tell you they could. Frederick Douglass was a slave. Frederick Douglass could actually read, right? So what else is going on in the world of media right now? What's happening? What's the other hot topics? Epstein files, okay. And what else? What else is going on? Ice, okay. What about ice? You want ice for your drink or ice what? Right, wrongful detention. So immigration is a big deal, right? So you guys are hearing that as young folks. And so what do you think about immigration? When you hear about immigration, what are you thinking about when you hear about immigration? Okay, okay. And so is immigration this big bad thing that has destroyed this country? No, it's not, right? Immigration is what built this country, right? Right? I mean, immigration literally built this country. You can trace it back to the beginning of this country, you know? So, immigration is not a big bad thing. So, make sure, guys, and my message today is make sure whatever media that you're consuming, that is not one sided, okay? I know some of you guys, if you guys raise your hand, how many of you guys watch Fox News? Probably nobody in this room, right? How many of you guys watch ABC, NBC, or CBS News? Okay, good. So one of the things that I challenge you as young folks, because what happens with our industry is we get numb to what's happening in the world. And we will get numb if you're telling me every day that, you know, black people are bad or Hispanic people are bad. We get numb to those things. So what is it that we need to do besides consume it? We have to tell it. We have to tell our stories. We have to consume people telling stories about us, people of color. And when I say people of color, I'm hitting all avenues of people. People of color. We have to make sure that we are not just consuming what I would call trash, because trash is one-sided. You need to have 2, 3 sides of the story. Okay, so consume information that is going to do what to you? Inspire you. It's going to educate you. It's going to not box you into the rest of what some people are doing. One-sided, if you're on the left side or the right side, that's where's the best side to be? Somewhere in the middle. So consume information on Fox just to know what's going on. Consume information on CBS, CNBC, just to know what's going on. I know you guys don't consume a lot of that, but you really should. Or adjust your phones to where you are getting things so you know what's going on. How many guys are actual voters? Okay, I see a couple of hands that are down. How many of you guys are actually voters? How many of you guys are actually voters? Okay, if you're over 18, everybody in this room should be a voter. Okay, another problem we have is we get numb to what's happening in our environment, and we're not inspired to go out and make change. So that's what we do in this business, guys. We are the media, and our job is to inform you, the public, of what's going on in the world. Our job also is to give you both sides of that story. I know sometimes you don't hear that, but our job is to give you that information. So if you're hearing a one-sided story, that is not a good journalist. That is not a good reporter. That is not a good producer. A good producer or a good reporter is someone that's going to give you both sides of the story. We just can't be one-sided because we like this person or we don't like that person, right? We can't go against the current administration because somebody told you not to like them. You have to consume that information so you understand what they're talking about. Do you guys really know sometimes what's happening in the industry? Go ahead.
So when you said tell both sides of the story,
Mm-hmm.
are you saying like specifically unbiased? Because I feel like sometimes you can like tell both sides.
Not unbiased. There's always a truth to the story, right? Okay, so she may tell me her side of the story. Okay, let's say he hit. Okay, not hit her like that. He tapped her like you guys are kids. He tapped her on the shoulder, and she's annoyed by that, right? Okay, so and I might go to him, may go to her, and go, okay, hey, what happened? So she might tell me, but if she told that story to the young lady back here and the young lady back here and now the young lady back here, what am I? I'm hearing a watered down version of that story. So what do I need to go where? To the primary people, right? On both sides. Okay? I need to get turning my law enforcement hat on, right? I need to get people that saw the incident, that knew and saw what happened, and I need to get those individuals to tell me what really happened. I think that's what's happening in our industry today is we're not going to the source. We're giving you, oh, well, we heard this, we heard that. We heard that immigration is bad, our immigrants are bad. No, where are we hearing that from? So we have to go to the original sources. And that's what I mean by both sides. We have to absolutely do better and be better because if we don't, our audience, which is our people, are not going to get the best part of that story, right? So two sides is If I'm working at Fox News, I know I may align with the current president and administration, but I also have to tell that story. If that person did something wrong, then I have to say that was wrong, right? Okay? But you may align with that person, but telling the truth and telling the facts is something that has been watered down in our industry. And that's our job as journalists, our job as content creators, our job as just people is to tell the truth and tell interesting stories about people, but tell factual stories about people, right? Okay? Because a lot of times you guys on your timeline, on your feed, when you take your phone out, what are you getting? This just happened or that happened, that happened. You know, half of if it's somebody's vlog or somebody's personal YouTube page or Instagram page, and they're telling you that Michael Jackson is alive now, right? You know, they're telling you that Prince is still alive, right? So that's the information you guys are consuming. If you consume so much of that information, you get numb to what's happening in reality. And this is what I mean about telling both sides, listening to both sides, finding information that, hey, wait a minute, they just told me Michael Jackson was alive. Let me go here and see. Don't go to another content creator that is not factual. You go to the truth. Where are you going to go if someone told you Michael Jackson is alive right now? Where are you going to go? You're going to go you're going to go to Google. But why not go to a news organization to see, okay, if they're talking about it, it might be for real. If they're not talking about it, maybe it's not for real. You know, is TMZ a viable news organization? Why not? It's gossip? Really? Okay. Okay. So you guys agree? So TMZ, or now when they first started, maybe so. TMZ, they actually do investigative reporting. They actually do investigative. Now you might hear some other things going on, but TMZ, they do investigative reporting. They dig, right? Because they've been sued so many times, right? So they have to get on the right side of the facts. But they are a viable organization. Okay, now they're not ABC, NBC, or CBS, but they are a viable organization. Okay, they are giving you two sides of that coin. All right? So, but if you listen to someone's personal page, that person's only giving their personal opinion. How many sports fans we have in here? How many? Okay, sports, okay, good. All right, so football, basketball, whatever, right? So if I am a sports fan, where am I getting my information? Where am I going? First place, top of your head is where? ESPN. Is that a viable sports organization? Sure it is, but they're cable, okay? When I was coming up, you know, ESPN was this little bitty thing that no one knew anything about, right? Because they were on cable. In most of ABC, CBS, NBC, they were where? They were on the networks. So they were the truth tellers. But when ESPN came around, they were a small little thing. They made their niche because they wanted to tell stories about sports and about people in sports. They wanted to give 24 hours a day talking about sports. Whoever thought that would happen? Now that's one of the biggest things now that you can do if you're a sports follower. You go to ESPN. You go to ESPN Radio, you go to ESPN TV, you go to ESPN, their social media pages. If you want to hear about LeBron James scoring 100 points in one game, you go where? To ESPN first, okay? Is ESPN telling both sides of the story? Sure, they are. ESPN can get sued if they're not telling that story, but they are telling you both sides of that story. Sometimes it might be a little biased because, you know, LeBron James is LeBron James, right? But if LeBron James does something wrong, ESPN is going to report that story. They should, right? Just because you like LeBron James does not mean you can't say, oh, LeBron James is doing this or he was doing that. So our job as media content creators now, because I'm talking to the whole room right now, because everyone, how many of you guys create every other day? Okay? How many of you guys take pictures with your phone? How many guys take video with your phone? So everyone in this room is a content creator. Is Ted here yet? Is Ted here yet? Okay. So if you are a content creator, should you be responsible? for your media? Can you put anything out there? You can't, right? You can, but you can be sued if you put false information out there. So you should, in this room, if you are a content creator, you should also put your reporter hat on. So when you go into these workshops and you go into these things, you're listening, you have to understand, if Professor Murray is telling you to have two sides to your story, don't you think it's true that you need to do that? Okay? If you hear something right now, something negative, and you want to get that gossip out there, you want to get, you guys call it the juice or the tea or whatever you call it. What do you guys call it? The tea? All right? You want to get the tea out there, right? What's the first thing you're going to do? Your best friend, what are you going to tell her? Girl, let me tell you what happened, right? I saw this, I heard that. Oh, and she's going to do what? Turn right around and say that story, right? Or you're going to go to social, and now you're going to tell your 100,000 followers now the same story. And if you're telling something that is not true, can you be sued for that? Yes, you can. Right. So wouldn't it be in your best interest if you gave both sides of the story? It sounds simple, right? It sounds simple, but we're living in a world right now where we are afraid as media personalities to tell the truth. And we should not be. We should not be, because if we're telling both sides of the story, we're defending our truth, okay? Somebody is a good person, and they're doing something wrong, and our job is to report that story. What do? Okay, good. Yes. So we have some more folks coming in, and so let's have you guys kind of move into the center, please. Move into the center so we can make more room on the edges. I'm just tapped down when guy gets here, but I just want to have this conversation with you guys. But if you tell the truth in your stories, you're probably going to reach a lot more people, okay? And sometimes it's just a one phone call away, right? It's one phone call away, or it's one Instagram or one DM away to find out what really happened. Okay, so that's what we do, guys, in the School of Communications. We are fact finders. We want to tell the truth. And in my class, my students, they're going to tell you, they'll get this lecture probably how many times a week? Probably 3 times a week, right? And we only have class twice. But they'll get this lecture all the time from me because I am all about truth. You know, I spent my industry in the news business, and I'm about finding out the truth. And I don't want to put a story on KTSU2 that is not a true story. Because guess what? Can we be sued? Yes, we can. And we represent who? The university. And so we don't want to get sued, all right? So one of our jobs is we have to put information out there that is factual. And that's what we do here, guys. So once again, if you guys have not found a home in your major yet, feel free to come to School of Communications, even if you just want to do a tour and come by. Dr. Albalk is walking down. Still no Ted? Okay, so so what are we gonna do? We're going to pivot. Okay, all right. So we're gonna pivot, guys, and I'm gonna go back and make sure that our guys are good on the stream here. So I think we're gonna pivot, and I think Mr. Graves and Dr. Albalk are gonna come up, and thank you.
What's up, Tiger? Make some noise. Make some noise. It's so quiet in here. It's so quiet. My name is Dr. Anthony Ogba. I'm the conference chair. Something came up. Our initial speaker, Ted Irvin, who is the City of Houston's TV manager. Something came up in the City of Houston, so he has to make a U-turn. Happens all the time. You know, but that's okay, you know, because this is Comm Week. We have everything going on for you. Today I have another a faculty member, actually, one of our very active faculty members. Yesterday he was all over the place. You know, he has a very great audience yesterday, an event yesterday. So today he is going to engage us and, you know, take over, you know, the very place that Ted Irvin, you know, would have taken. You know, so he's gonna be our presenter at the moment. Please put your hands together. I'm talking about put your hands together, really, really together, for my good friend, faculty member, Professor Graves. Come on.
Thank you. All right, so before I get started, can we just clap it up for Comm Week in general? I don't think people understand how much it takes to put on this event, to get students here, to get people coming, and important people, so much to where the city of Houston can call, the mayor can call in a heartbeat and they pivot, just like I had to pivot right now. And I live for these moments, right? Because if you stay ready, you don't have to do what? Get ready, right? And that's what it's about. But the School of Communication in general is a very special place because this is what we teach. This is what we teach. It's not so much about everything that you're doing on a skill set. It's the confidence to get up and do it because you don't know. I give you a quick example, right? Yesterday, Cheryl Mercedes was here, KSU11, right? We was walking out, and she was telling me a story. I think she told the panel, the audience, the same story. No, she was telling me I was walking to her car, and she was telling me, hey, my first gig was I was an intern, and I wasn't doing no stories at all. But I dressed to get addressed. So I always dressed up professional, and people would laugh at me. She's from New Orleans. And people would laugh at me and say, why am I dressing up? Why you? Until the person who was on the news that night could not make it. So the only person that was in the right attire that can go on the news was Cheryl Mercedes. So they said, this is your time. Can you get up? They was like urgent. You got to do it right now. And she was like, oh, bet, I'm ready. She got hired that same night. Just like that. Straight in the news. That's how no interview, no putting in nothing. She was interning, but because she was ready and she stepped up to the plate and that opportunity, there's a window of opportunity and it closes. You never know when is your time. You never know who you're gonna run into. The Galleria Mall, you can run into anybody at the Galleria Mall, right? So the number one thing that I personally like to talk about is confidence and self-esteem. And sometimes it's finding the avenue that you use for yourself to hype your own self up. Because a lot of times you are your only friend sometimes. You are the only motivation you have sometimes. Sometimes it's not, even if it is the partner that you call sometime, and he may not pick up the phone that time, right? So you have to dig deep inside and understand that communication is key. And communication can get you in so many doors, so many different doors. Yesterday on the panel, they were talking about persuasion, right? We have persuasive speeches in my class. My class is in here right now, right? And we have persuasive speeches. What's another word? It's kind of a bad word. What's another word for persuasive? Starts with an M. It could be manipulation. Now, you can use it to your advantage or not. I'm not telling you to do that. But what I am saying is sometimes you have to sell yourself. If you can sell fish to a water, water to a fish, you can do anything, right? And it's not easy, but you have to just be confident, right? You have to just step into it. You have to walk into what you want to be. You have to dress the person you want to be. You have to look the part. You have to talk the part, period. If you a millionaire, you a millionaire. If I'm 6'7", I'm 6'7". I don't care what y'all think, right? That's what I identify as, a 6'7", right? But the part is, I feel if I'm larger than life, then I can achieve that, right? So confidence, and I graduated from here, undergrad, master's. I'm in my doctoral program now. After my event, I had to miss a little bit of the other event because I had class myself. I had to present in class, and I was ready for my presentation. Brian Armstrong, who was over at missions here, he's my professor. I had homework after that. I did my homework. I did what I had to do. What I'm trying to say is I don't know when it's going to be my time. I don't want to not be in class that one day just because I think that I'm important and I have to do something. No, I'm not important enough to not be in class, right? Or so forth. So I want to tell you as students, utilize every avenue that you have. And I'm going to give you some real game. Utilize your professors. Get really, really, really close with them. Pick their brain. And let me give you some more game. We talked about perception. Show up at their office. Bother them. Do all those things because when that time comes, the person they're going to call on is you. I give you another quick example, right? I had a student in my class, my lab class. He's in the back. He's on the camera right now, right? I see him when I walk outside of my office on the third floor of this building every single day, grinding. Every day I see him grinding. So I said, hey, do you mind taking some shots for my event? It's just me. I don't really have anything. Or, he said, sure, I'll do that. Well, that right now is on KSU11. He didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know Miss Mercedes was going to put that on KSU11. I had no earthly idea. I was just ready and prepared, and so was he. He said, I got you, no worries. Not only was, and he did excellent skills because he's taking Murray's workshops. He's picking the brains of here. He's not only learning the stuff in the classroom, but he's applying it on his own time. We see that. Why you think I asked him? Can anybody tell me why I just asked him? What y'all think? Is it because of his skill set? Consistency. I seen him every day. Who else? I'm on the third floor. There's not a lot of people on the third floor. So if I walk out and go to the restroom, he's boom. I go to my class, I come back, he's boom. I mean, it's 2 p.m., boom, 6 p.m. So I'm saying that to say consistency will take you further than talent. And I'm not saying not to have talent, develop it. But content is king and consistency is king. Keep on putting yourself out there. Don't listen to the noises in your head or the noises around you telling you can't do something. You can do whatever you want, and there's a niche for everything. For whatever you're interested in, somebody else is interested in as well, right? Sometimes you just got to put it out there, right? And don't be an overthinker and don't think about perfection because none of us is perfect, right? It's the consistency. It's being in the space. You got to be in the room first and able to open your mouth. Number two, you got to have you got to conquer those nerves, right? Which is nothing but adrenaline. Everybody feels nerves. Your biggest performers, they feel it before they get up and perform. It's a part of who we are. But it's really just giving you energy so you can get up and do that. Why you think we sweat sometimes? It's so we don't overheat, right? Why you think we breathe so much when we get nervous? So we don't pass out. All these different things, our body is telling us you're about to do something. So those nerves you feel, utilize it to your advantage. Don't look at it like, I can't. You can do whatever you put your mind to because fear is nothing but a limitation. And limitation does not exist. It's what you set for yourself, right? And I always say this, if you shoot for a star, you will land on a mountain, right? So shoot for an A+, you might just get an A, or you might just get an A+. But the whole C's get degrees, or let me coast by, let me just do the bare minimum. No, put your best foot forth because people are watching you. You would be surprised how many people you don't even know are observing you, the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk, your work ethic. People are observing you, right? So whatever you want to do, put your best foot forth and keep on pushing, keep on grinding, and keep on being consistent in your craft, no matter what it is. Another thing, don't let dream killers get in the way of your passion. Because this is the thing, when you come from a place, right, a lot of people who grew up with you, right, and you may not experience this till a little later on in life, a lot of people that grew up with you, they're only going to remember the things that they saw you doing or the things that you did. But when you start to elevate and they're not elevating, they're going to do whatever it takes to try to bring you back down to where they are, right? I say this a lot. People are often really deflecting off what you're reflecting because what they see, they aren't. And misery loves company. So you got to tune out that noise. A lot of friends, a lot of family, a lot of certain things. If they're hating on you, if they are trying to discredit you or saying that you can't be exactly who you want to be in life, you got to tune out that noise. Just stay consistent because a lot of support will not come in your own backyard. A lot of times it's somewhere, it might be across campus, maybe a different school, maybe a different city, a different state. But I guarantee you stay consistent in whatever you're doing. It will work out for you. So I want to ask a couple questions, right? I know in my class is Comm 1321, Business and Professional Communication. It's a core class. So a lot of my students aren't necessarily communication students. Some are public affairs, some are college of education and so forth. But I know we got some Comm students in here because I know we got Professor Murray's class in here, right? So just in general, can anybody tell me what they aspire to be or inspire to do? Anybody? Right, and that's the first hand I seen. See back there with the headphones on. Former student of mine. Ooh, love it, love it. Okay. So what are you doing besides literally right now working? What are you doing to put yourself in a space to create these documentaries at an excellent level? Love it. Bing, 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 bing. That's exactly what I was looking for. Because everybody leaves a blueprint. You take the blueprint, you start with the blueprint, and then you twist it to your liking. Because they leave behind blueprints. And I mean, I mastered in professional communication and digital media. Dr. Ulassi, he was on my board. Dr. Ulassi, I did my documentary, and I'm a music guy, right? But I just looked at other things that I liked, and I was like, I like that. So how did they do it? Or I started to ask questions. Dr. Dixon, he was on my board. He's an LA guy. I love LA, and I would literally fly out there and ask him questions. Or while he was here, I would ask him questions. I would say, hey, because he was in the film, like he was in the ram that I wanted to be, his demeanor, his approach. So I was like, how do you do this? How you do that? How you do this? And I'm the type of person, I would YouTube you to death. If I don't have the answers, YouTube, and we got what now? All right? What I'm meaning is you can ask questions. If you don't know the answer, a lot of people come to me and ask me questions. I mean, you got a phone. We all got a phone. We just talked about that, right? So before you ask me, ask this, right? Get your answers. But I love that because there's a blueprint of everything you want to do for the most part. There's a blueprint that somebody left behind. And what takes you above the level, find the niche in that blueprint. Say, okay, they did this documentary. I love that. But maybe if I do it this way, that may take you to the next level on a whole different stratosphere, right? Somebody else. Screenwriting and directing. What is your favorite, I don't want to say just movie, but what is your favorite film, should I say? Babs. Oh, I love Babs. I love that movie. Babs. Why? Right. Hmm. So it was a good story because it had a good message in it. Right? All right. So right here in the program, my students are gonna probably get on me for this because I tell them the same thing over and over. They be laughing. I tell a lot of stories, right? But I do that on purpose because I try to tell them when you're giving a speech and those nerves kick in. How many people that you know wasn't like starters in the NBA with a podcast right now or NFL, and you listen to every word they say just based on the stories that they're telling? They probably killing them more on the podcast than they did on the field or the court because they're good. How many stories you heard from that one cousin that say the same story every Thanksgiving, but you still look forward to that story? Do you understand how powerful narration is? So much to the point where if you are, let's say, prepared but nervous, and you get up here and you have your note cards and you're speaking in front of people, all right, well, whatever you're speaking about, you got a story behind it, or somebody got a story behind it. 2 minutes of your speech will be about that story. And then guess what? Because storytelling is so powerful, we have what starts with the E, emotions. So when you take us through, because in that movie, it's emotions. It make you laugh. And that's why I said it's a good example. I love Babs because it's funny, it's nostalgic, but it had a core message to it. It had a lot of like how to come up, but how to like really relate and how to like, like see the core heart of people besides the shenanigans. Because I know the story. It's a wonderful story, right? Telling a story, relating to people. People, we're human beings. We are not machines. So if I get you to laugh a little bit, if I get you to, kind of get sad a little bit, see how my voice changes, my pitch, my dialect, my articulation, they change, right? But if I'm really excited, then I might just get really loud like that, right? So depending on how I'm telling that story, I'm taking you somewhere. I'm trying to take you I don't want to be flatline. The worst thing in the world, I know all my communication professors aren't like this, is the monotone professor that says walk in the door, sign the roll. So today we're going to talk, We want to take them on a journey, right? And when we watch stories, good stories, or hearing stories, they're taking us through a journey, right? Your life is a journey, right? So somebody else, I knew you was gonna raise your hand. That's my dog. Yep. Absolutely love that. And I'm going to touch on that too. It's the truth. Because I know you do music. You was in my class. I'm teaching music classes now. I'm a music guy. Music is my number one thing, and I love music, right? But I get way more love off of speaking affirmation, speaking positivity. Just every day I try to post something about ego or about pride or about self-esteem or about the same things I teach in class, emotional intelligence. But I just be real. I be myself. And I've had more people hit me up for opportunities. I had somebody sitting on the panel yesterday that hit me up through there. I see your consistency. Oh my God, like this stuff resonates with me. He got probably, to me, probably the best podcast studio here in Houston. He was on my panel yesterday. We met through IG, but it wasn't my music. Now, when I play my music, boom, they might get me in the door later on, but you are so correct, right? Whatever's working for you, use it. But because of social media, because your brand, right, it should be a funnel to get to where you're trying to go. It may not be this. It may be that. I don't know. Whoever knows. I may be talking, somebody in here can connect the dot with me in music. But because I'm up here talking, maybe later on we can connect. Either way, you have other channels to bring you to the same place. Wonderful. You was going to say something? Yeah.
Mainly a storyteller, but I know the main way I want to do that is multimedia reporting and music production.
Oh, I be seeing you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I teach in 119. When I come out the studio, I poke my head up in the studio. I see you here. I see you, right? But I see, that's the point is I see you all the time, right? Two things. Why you think I see you so much? I haven't heard you so much, but I think you got it. But what are two things that I, off the rip, know I'm going?
Well, two things I hope. The reason why you're seeing me is my consistency.
That's one. That was one of them.
Show up.
Mm-hmm.
I like to put my best foot forward. And two, I hope it's my openness. Like
Openness.
My ability to walk in a room and hopefully be able to connect to one person.
Right. Both of those are true. Consistency for sure, because I wouldn't see you if you wasn't there. All right. But also, I don't know if you recognize this, but I've said this to you about 5 times. Every time I see it, like, bro, I love your hair. I love your hair. How many reporters do we see right now? Like, look like that. All right, niche. Boom, you in there. And I will ride it all the way through. It's wonderful. You look good. I mean, it's a perfect approach, your consistency. And it's not shenanigans. It's like it's adding to who you are. It's your identity, right? It's your identity. And you're not letting that disrupt your professionalism because you're still showing up. I'm listening, I'm watching you. So I'm like, this brother cold, you know? But at the same token, you got that look. It makes you unique, right? So those things stand out, right? So the point that I'm making is find something to make you stand out. Oh, and a great photographer. See, I didn't even know that. I need some work. Come on, let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. So we're here from one more person, because it's not about me, it's not about us, it's about y'all. But one thing I do want to say before I ask this last question, I want you to think about your professors, right? And I want you to know something that I'm telling you out of my mouth. In the School of Communications, we live a practical life as well. What do I mean by that? We don't just teach. Most of us was in the industry, still in the industry, and still relative in the industry. So we're not just talking from a scholastic standpoint. We're talking about from a professional standpoint. I respect all my professors in the School of Communications because they did it for real. A lot of people, if you ain't do it, you ain't did it. I don't know. But we did it. So I'm saying that for him to say that, it means something, right? Because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, right? So one more person. It's Cadence. Who's your favorite artist? Or who's, I know the answer, but, because I think he might be a man, but who's your favorite artist? D'Angelo. All right, and like we were saying, so one thing I know about Miss Cadence is her style. She's neo soul, Jill Scott, D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, and fire with it. Can sing, amazing artist, but she's a phenomenal speaker. I mean, excellent speech with passion because she's talking about something that she loves. I just asked the question. She talked about something that she loves, right? So find your lane. Make sure you're passionate about it. And whatever you want, stay consistent. And it will happen. It will happen, all right? So that's all I want you to just remind yourself. Keep going. Don't stop. Get out of class. Graduate. Don't quit, all right? And then move on in life because I want to see some greatness out of all of y'all, all right? Professor Ulassi. Come on. Final words? I'm putting you on the spot. Y'all put me on the spot all the time. It's my turn.
Please, let's give Professor Graves a big round of applause for him. He had two phenomenal, successful panels yesterday. Incredible. He's not even on the program today. But we have a professional who, due to unforeseen circumstances, is not able to join us at this time. And Dr. Obo called him, and on the spot, he got up and held you guys spellbound. Okay? He's practicing his art. What he does best, he has demonstrated in it. And everything he has said, believe me, take it to the bank. That's true. Okay? I'm a graduate of this university before I went to the University of Texas for my graduate work. But since then, I have served in different capacities, both graduate director, teacher, filmmaker, documentary filmmaker, and writer, publisher, everything. But there's nothing I love more to see young talents develop, grow, and realize their full potential.
Absolutely.
And he's saying something that I don't know how many of you caught it. He's talking about narrative. It's another way to tell you about storytelling. That life is about what? Storytelling. Everything we do in life.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you show up, you're already telling a story. You're saying that you are serious, you understand, you want to engage, you want to learn. And if you're not able to tell that story, somebody else will tell it. And there's no guarantee that they will flatter you. You will not love what they say. So it's important that you learn the skill and the observational, power to basically see around you. I saw Professor Murray giving his presentation yesterday, and he said one thing you want to do is that you always, when you come into a situation like he said, into a space, try to do what? Observe, listen, see the environment. They even teach you this in security. Once you come into a room, look around of you and know where the danger spots are. Potential behaviors that might trigger something to tell you that this is not a comfortable place to be. But in academic circle, you want to come in, you learn, you look at what's happening. There's so many tools we offer here at the Texas Southern University School of Communication. Professor Murray has the Fun Day Friday.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even being paid for that. He just, out of his professional life experience, working as a news and program producer for Channel 11 for so many years, started to provide that forum for students. Undergraduate, graduate students take advantage of it. Many people have learned and honed their skill by going there. Professor Graves here. And if you want to go to the international level, doing research, publishing, working for major NGOs or major international organizations like UNESCO. How many of you know who the UNESCO is? UNESCO, UNESCO. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I can describe. I'm familiar.
Yeah, just tell us.
Oh, the world. I believe the World Organization, either in media, not conglomerate of countries and things like that.
Yeah, good. It's a world, it's an agency of the United Nations. You all know the United Nations, right? It's the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. That's what UNESCO stands for. And this organization also supervises communication development across the globe. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that we have our former dean and a scholar of international repute who have done so much. Professor Maurice O'Dine. Professor O'Dine, please. He's been sitting there quietly. He has just published a memoir. Who knows what a memoir is? Yes, go ahead. The story of your life. Thank you. Excellent. He just published a memoir. And I've just finished a textbook that will be adopted here at TSU. That's what we do. There are creative people. There are public speakers. There are people who nurture and grow talent. You have people who engage in scholarship. Because without that scholarship, believe me, you will be out of where the discussion is made, where knowledge is produced, and how it is,
curated and say what's happening. And we have other faculty members that are here. Professor Ihe, too, you all know her. I know some of you have taken her class. She's also participating. Raise your hand, just say hello. Hello. and of course, Professor Murray, who is so polyvalent, who knows what polyvalent means? Yeah, go ahead.
I can take a guess, like multifaceted.
Thank you. Multifaceted. He can do a lot of things everywhere. So we are really, really delighted about this year's, and let's all give it for Dr. Anthony Obo. As a country, Dr. Anthony Obo is so, when he was talking about energy, sometimes I'm behind just trying to pull his energy a little bit. Yeah, he get excited, but he's a great professional. For more than 36 years, he has worked for the most prestigious newspapers in the world and publishes the International Guardian for over 35 years now. And worked for the Chronicle, worked for so many other organizations. He's a great artist and a poet. And he's been, managing this Comm Week for 2 years in a row. And of course, we have the computer scientist in the School of Communication, Dr. Israel Newman.
Music guru.
Newman composes, he teaches, he inspires, he works so hard. The ethics is unbelievable. Some people don't get this. There is nothing greater than work ethics. How many of you remember Hakeem Olajuwon?
Dream Shaker.
Hakeem Olajuwon came from Nigeria, never played basketball, played what we call handball then. But when he came here, all of a sudden, the work ethics that he developed was just phenomenal. He used to go out, watch Jordan, watch everybody play. And all of a sudden, he started going to LA during the summers to pick up more skills, to play in the neighborhood. And today, he's a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame.
Two-time NBA champion. And not only that, he has a good head on his shoulder. He's not one of those that you read about scandals all over the place.
Right.
But he has so much investment in Houston, it's unbelievable. Casually, he doesn't spend his money buying unnecessary stuff. Okay? So, but these are, when you come to work ethics, what makes somebody tick? And when he was talking about those dream killers, are those who want to know what makes you tick and do what? Try to puncture it, especially if they're not following you with the skill. And of course, talking about the new flames, the new talents, Professor
Mr. Barrow.
Vincent Parr.
Mr. Barrow.
Professor Powell graduate, incredible speaker, part of the legendary TSU debate team, and graduated here, then went to the most prestigious film school in the country, USC, University of Southern California, graduated, came back here to give back. And he has inspired new generation of storytellers, teaching and mentoring students. And I said, look, I'm old enough, I need to retire. And I'm glad to see these young folks there. So please, big round of applause for Professor Stone. All right? All right, thank you very much. So enjoy the rest of the program. We have great program coming up. Okay, Professor Murray. Thank you.
Okay, guys, really quick. At 3 o'clock, we're going to host a workshop for journalism majors, but anyone is welcome to come. And it's about taking your stories to the next level. Okay, as a reporter, what can you include in your stories? How can you make them look good visually? What kind of natural sound, those type of things you can improve your story. So we're going to do that in the studio at 3, maybe 3 to 4. And then at 5 o'clock, Professor Powell is going to do a dynamic workshop on camera equipment, camera gear, selecting the best lenses, the best tripods, the best and really, you guys don't want to miss that one, especially the folks that are RTF majors and journalism majors as well. So, you guys, make sure 3 o'clock, in the studio, and then return right back around in the studio at 5 to 7 for that workshop. So definitely show up for that. And thank you guys once again for coming out and supporting School of Communications. And we'll see you at 3. And what time? 5. There you go. All right.